Alright folks, welcome to this exciting episode. In today's video we start here in a forest at Glams, and in front of us here is the old rail line, and there's an old rail bridge. We'll go down and have a quick look at the rail bridge. Where we're actually going today is to see an old Pictish stone called Orlands Stone, and it's located about 2 miles in this direction here, and it's going to be worth a visit. But we're going to follow the old rail line and see what other historical things we can see on the journey, so let's get into it. Here's the first historical item, this old cement fence. That would have been the fence in place when the rail was used. So that's a bit of history, folks. Victorian steam railway fence. So this busy road behind me here is the main road from Glams to Kirriemuir, and we're about to go down this steep embankment to the rail side. This is real deal exploring, folks. It's frosty. It's about -2, and we can tell here by the white grass how frosty and slippy it actually is. And today on this adventure we've got the channel historian, AKR he's known. AKR is the channel historian, and he's come to fill us in with the history. Anything I don't know about this railway, he'll know. Look at this old bridge, folks. This is all new material here on BKR. Victorian built, main road. People go over this every day, never see it. It's incredible. We can also see an interesting point about this stonework. It's not just built straight. The stone curves. Look, there's actual icicles hanging up there today. Proper icicles. So the stonework's actually spiraling, maybe for strength.
I think it's because the road's at an angle. Because of the bridge.
Oh aye.
That's why it's like that.
Yeah, so getting the angle of the road going across it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Back when they built stuff like this, they cared about what they were doing with the stonework. It's all just covered in frost today. We can see at the side here there's old railway sleepers, which at one time would have been holding the embankment up. Anyway folks, we'll head on towards this Orlands Stone here. What is it? St Orlands Stone.
It is, yeah.
St Orlands Stone, folks. We'll talk about the history of St Orlands Stone further on, once we get up near it. But until then, we'll take a look at some rail history. Steam railway history. Alright folks, here's the first interesting historical piece up by the side of this path. What we've got here is the old pole, which would have taken the phone lines between the towns. And each of those little clay things on there, what are they made of? Clay?
Yeah, ceramic, yeah.
Ceramic, they're called cuppies. How many phone lines was on each end?
Just one.
One phone line,
Half on each one.
half on each one, so there'd have been pairs. So you can tell there's not a lot of phone lines there back then. It looks like a lot. But they followed the rail line because that was the most direct route between the towns. So that's a cool bit of history just left there. In fact, the cable's still hanging down here, stuck in the trees, some of them. That's crazy. It might not even pick up on this camera. Victorian phone line.
Oh no, I didn't think they were quite Victorian.
No, quite Victorian. That's why we've got the channel historian here today, to correct BKR on his false history. So that would have been just after when phones were invented.
Yeah.
Here we go folks, abandoned history at its finest. We can get a close-up look at this old telephone pole. It just lies here in the wood where it's fanned in. Pretty cool, look at these big metal bits for holding the thing on. Because this one's fallen down, all the little ceramic cuppy things are missing off it. Look at that iron bit on the top. See, we're just looking at all the different layers of wood as it goes down. Probably as more lines were added, they just kept adding them lower and lower down on the pole. And apparently the lines were originally telegraph lines for like Morse code and that between the towns. But then later it would have been obviously telephone lines. But that's how they're still called telegraph poles to this day. So we're moving on to the next point of history. It's crazy that's just left lying. See this folks, everything's frozen solid here, look at this ice. Because I've got the wellies on, we're going to try and make it over. It's not strong enough there to take my weight, but the ice there's about an inch thick or something. It must be starting to thaw out. Here's an even deeper one. I wonder how deep this actually is. So this one's pretty deep folks. Anyway, I can see another bridge over here which is pretty cool. Another historical rail bridge. We can still see the last one we were at way down there. A crazy point about this, it's amazing to think they've dug all that out, right down this channel. It's all been dug out by hand. Back in those days they didn't have all the big heavy machines we've got nowadays. My feet's freezing, I'm standing in the middle of this frozen puddle introducing the video. AKR nearly fell over there. He's the channel historian. If he gets hurt, we won't know any history of this place. Pure ice under feet, folks. See this, folks, the ice further along this road here is pure, honestly, it must be 6 inch thick, solid ice. Like right now, we're just skating along it here. It's crazy, I've not seen ice like this for about a year, since last winter. Here we go, this is crazy here. Just shows you what sort of temperatures we're dealing with on these historical explorers. And look at this next point of interest here folks. So this is another one of these incredible little stone bridges. Each one of them unique to the location that they're in. And this one's got loads of icicles on it, I can see at each side, which is pretty crazy like. If one of them fell on your head you'd ken about it, or you might know. Look at this place folks. Some of these icicles are like 1.5 foot long. Look at that, that's like 2 foot long, that icicle there. This old bridge. It's cool. Imagine the old steam threads rattling under here, with the steam pouring out each side of the bridge as it went under. Probably this bridge would have had a dark sooty mark on it at one time. Here we are, the channel historian has noticed an interesting feature here. Look at this. The icicle is part of the bush here folks. That's crazy. There's actual piles of ice here where it's been drifting. That's proper. Look at this thing. Proper bits of ice folks. We can see the stonework at this side here at the top. Looks a bit dodgy. Bridge 190 it says. Here's an interesting piece. Look at this, folks. It's the old cast iron fence post. Well, it's no cast iron, is it? Look at this. Look at the mechanism for tightening the wire. Okay, and as you ratchet that around, it locks it, winds the wire up around there. Proper old fence post. If you think about it, you could still use that right now for a fence. Can. A lot of fence posts you get nowadays, they rot away within a couple of years. Oh hell, look up here. There we go, folks. We've come for a look on top of this bridge. Look at it. It's an abandoned wonderland up here. Look at this old sign here. That old sign says lead and weight, 13 tons there. So this must just be an access point. Would that be where the stone is? No.
I was trying to think it's further along than this.
Yeah. Because that must be the farm we hit past down there, eh?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
That's what they seem to use quite a lot on railways. And look at this, there's another kind of fence bit here, just abandoned in the frost. It's maybe been a little gate here at one time made out of old sleepers. Eh? Perfect, we'll move on. Doesn't look like there's any more bridges down this way, but I'm sure there'll be something if we keep our eyes peeled. If you think about the time it took to build this bridge, and also the fact that nobody would even see it, but they still spent that time making the bridge. That's what makes it special. The era when things like this was built, they took pride in what they did. Nowadays we just throw up horrible looking buildings. But look at this, we can still appreciate it all these years later. You could still be driving over that no problem, and it still looks amazing. Here's a really cool looking pole, folks. Look at all the wires here, it's still just hanging in midair. Holy shit, I'm falling down the hill. Excuse the language. I just fell down that hole. Look at this. This is a cool looking in. There's so much wire coming off it. It looks like that's actually fence wire.
Yeah, I think that's what they used though.
Aye. That's cool. Anyway, we reckon that St Orlands stone is over this way here. So we're away to follow the route down and try and go along the side of those big trees. Here's an old piece of railway history, folks. That's the rail line just cutting through those trees, through where this gate goes. We can see it. I think that's somebody's garden now. We're away to cut up towards St Orlands stone here, but look at this little bit of rail history. It's a little shed. Must have been where the boy had his piece. Maybe some of the rail workers. Look, it's made out of actual railway sleepers. Look, he's got a wee fireplace and everything in here. Look at this little fireplace.
Probably quite warm.
And then a little wooden roof.
And a window.
Oh, a little window. He's going, oh, there's the train, I've missed it. I've missed it, I've not changed the signal in time. Look, here's his coat hook. Look at that, folks. An old railway worker's coat hook. Another interesting point here, look at these old square Smiddy made nails. They would have been made by a blacksmith. Look at this place, folks, it's incredible. And then he would have been sitting in there in front of the fire, that would have been cool. There's a sign, private garden, please keep out, like we thought. So we'll follow this path which goes the opposite direction, up towards the Pictish stone of interest. Let's get into it, folks. Right, folks, we've now come out of the wood there, and we're coming through a network of gates. We're following what we reckon here is the stones down this line of trees. There's a path going that way. I feel that the stones down this way, Andy.
Yeah. They showed it at the side of a fence, but...
Could be down that side of the wood nowadays. There's an old map exists for this place, but the trouble is, what was a forest on the map may not be a forest now. But this wood here we're in looks quite old. So I'm guessing if we follow just down where we're going, we'll be cool. And if not, it just adds to the adventure, folks. St Orlands stone, here we come. Look at this frozen grassy wonderland here, folks. It's like walking about in a fairy tale. That's what life's like if you're in a BKR episode. Isn't it, AKR?
That's right, yes.
Walking through history.
We're known nothing like that before.
Look at this, folks. Here's remains of probably what some wood lads or something's dumped here when they've been doing the forest. Look at this, an old bit of drum. Yeah, that would be perfect if you were camping somewhere like this for like making a brazier. So we've got AKR up here looking at the map, and he says that we need to head further up this direction here. This is like a proper swampy little forest kind of bit here. There's paths leading everywhere. Right, folks, we've come upon this frosty ditch. I think we've come too far down. We've come through this woods. That was totally my idea, but I think we need to be further up that way. But right now, we're away across this ditch. I could regret it, AKR.
That's right, yeah.
Right, see, look. This is what you need to do. Look at it. And then just go like this. We did it safely, folks. We got the channel historian safely over the burn there. See that, folks? Countryside code. We're not going to walk over. We can tell this has been planted here with some winter barley or wheat. So you don't walk over fields like that. Even if it's frozen solid, you need to have respect. And here at BKR, we have that respect. So we're going to go back, trace our footsteps back around the outside of this field. I'll update you very shortly. Right, folks, we're going up grassy bits between fields here. Luckily we've got the channel historian here today with his GPS, because I think it's over this way we need to be going. A wee while ago we were at the other side of that field, and we had to cross this ditch. So we're just making our way through this off-road section. Here it is, folks, we can see it. We've just come onto this old road here, which at one time would have connected the Drumgley side with the Glam side, but now it's blocked with gates. But over here on the horizon, folks, over this stubble field, we can see the stone of St Orlands. Our mission today has been successful. Let's go and see it. And we're lucky to have the channel historian here to witness this special day. Well spotted though, because he spotted it. I didn't even see it. I was just waiting to say a little bit to the camera about the old road, which wouldn't be passable these days with a car. Pretty cool, folks. And it looks like it's uncovered. I was worried that this stone might be covered up for the winter, but here it is. It must be too far for them to cover it up. Too far in the middle of nowhere. Here it is, folks, we've made it. How exciting. Way to go underneath the fence. There we go, folks. St Orlands stone, we've made it. Look at it. I'll read a little bit off this sign. This is a Pictish cross slab of the 8th or 9th century AD. The main face shows a cross decorated by low relief interlace. The back bears two common Pictish symbols. Above, scenes of horsemen, a manned boat, and animals. So look at this beast. These repairs here on the side of it were done. I'll get my shadow out of the frame there, folks. These repairs here were done in the 1800s. Well, actually, that looks like new ones again.
I think, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was first repaired in the 1800s. See, this is where it was also repaired. Look, it's been removed now. this one. There was another strap holding it at this face. But on this more recent repair, look, they've obviously no bothered with the middling. Look at the art on it. Here, I'll read that. I've got another bit of info here to read. Here we go, folks. Right. I'll read what it says on the internet about this place. Admire the carving of a Pictish cross slab, adorned with both Christian and pagan motifs. So we'll have a little look at that in a minute. St Orlands stone is a rare example of a Pictish cross slab still standing in its original location. It's unique in depicting a Pictish boat, the only known representation of a boat in early medieval sculpture in Scotland. And it's right here on BKR. The stone stands on a low terrace overlooking what used to be wet ground. It was broken in two at some point, but its beauty and craftsmanship remains obvious. So there we go,
it's
folks.
Right, it is kind of at the top of a big open promontory bit here, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's been prominent here. This, a few years ago, was a forest here, I believe. And we can see it. It's an open land of water here. I can see there's an old oil drum lying in there.
Yeah.
And then over the view of all the hills here. But anyway, let's take another look at this stone here. What can we see? What can BKR make out here? There's some patterns all the way up through this area. Yeah, and it's got the cross symbol. Similar, if we look back to the BKR Aberlemno Pictish stones, they've got similar carvings to that. I'm keeping the angle of the sun up there. Let's see, what can we see on this side? It's actually hard the way the light's shining. Obviously on here somewhere there's a boat, a manned boat.
That might be there, isn't it? Look, there's a kind of
Oh, here we go, folks.
Look, is that another boat with people in it? Look.
Maybe, yeah. So this is the boat here. It looks like a giant banana with people sitting in it here. It looks like, has this even got a flag? Or have they got a roof on their boat?
I don't know.
See, it's often easier to see on the camera than what it is with the eye. Look here, here's 4 legs and an animal here. It's hard to see on the video, folks, the shape of the stone. Probably if you had a wire brush you'd be able to see it easier, but I don't think Historic Scotland would respect that. Every year the frost will be chipping away at the surface. Layers will be coming off. But they've done a no bad job of strapping it back together with this. It's so cool to think this is the only carved stone in the UK with what, a boat on it?
In Scotland anyway.
In Scotland, which represents a boat, so that shows you that they were sea-going people. Do you think that would have been like some Viking settlers?
I think this was before that.
Before the Viking settlers. Can you imagine that, folks? The 8th and 9th century, like, that's crazy. I bet you when they put that up, they didn't think it would be getting put on YouTube anyway, for sure.
I believe it wasn't before that.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't before the Viking times, maybe it was. We're not sure on this one, folks. We've done no research, even the historian here. We're just on site. Look at it though, the stone carving is impressive. The way the cross here is, it's been deeply carved in there. If you imagine, that edge would have broken off that stone easily there. Look at all the different little swirly bits. It's actually easier to see it at the bottom where it's not so worn. Incredible. So we can see here from this approach, from the soft bogland side, the stone prominently stands on the hill with the cross facing this direction. So it's pretty cool. We'll go a bit lower down and get a look of it. The sun's really at a poor angle for getting a view of it from here. Look at it up there on the hill, folks. Maybe some pagan religious things was done up there, or Christian religious festivals or something were held around by that stone back in the olden days. Who knows? So the unique thing about this stone here, which I'm most amazed about, is the fact that it's still in its original position. If you imagine the Picts coming here and setting it up, this is exactly where they set it. a few times over the years. It has had a lean on it and it's been reset, but it's always been at this location, so it's cool. It's an amazing bit of history, folks. The 8th and 9th century, it's so long ago to consider it's been standing here in all weathers. All those days that's passed, all those cold, frosty winter nights where the frost's eating away at it, and it just stands here majestically on the landscape. Here's the old historic building sign here. St Orlands Stone, folks. What a place. Now, I think we'll head back. We'll leave this historical stone stand here. It's a shame there's no shed or something built around it really to protect it, but at least it's got this little fence area. I'll close the gate. It wasn't closed when I got here, but that'll stop any beasts escaping. That'll stop any deer going in there and damaging the stone. Right, AKR's over here having a look at an old, what looks like a historical gate line in this former forest. I think we're going to cut this way back to the railway, follow the railway back out the same route we came in, well, a similar route we came in. This ditch here, which runs through this former forest, is marked on the OS map. So that is a way of finding the stone, just up beside the ditch there. Here's another one of these old railway, big cast iron strainer posts for the fences. Look at this, folks. Proper bit of engineering there, even for a strainer post, just for a wire fence. They actually spent time. It's quite a cool location. Forfar's over that direction, we can see it. We can see Kerry over this direction. And the view over the snowy hills is incredible at this time of year. Which way are we going? That way, look.
Yeah, back to the railway line.
I see the railway line. This is cool. We can see the rise in the land here now where the old railway used to run. Look at this. An old ditch which must have run down the side of the rail line. Are we getting over here, AKR? Yeah, there's something to making the water look Rick Roosty there. The sun never gets very high in the sky here at this time of year. It's literally just a few foot above the horizon here. But we're out exploring all weathers. Rain, snow and shine, frost. Here we are, there's not even a ditch here. Maybe that metally rusty water's coming through a pipe under here.
This will be the official way along here.
Oh aye. This will be the official fence crossing here. This little climbing thing to get over the fence. Obviously we found out our own way there. Up this onto the railway line, folks. Make sure there's no ghost train coming. So here it is, that's for that direction that the line was going. And then back up this way, it goes all the way Cooper Angus, all those directions. Here's a random find of the day, folks, at the side of the path. Basketball.
This is a basketball hoop.
Somebody's dog must have had that there. We'll just kick it back in where we found it in case it belongs to somebody that lives near here. There we go, folks. Random find of the day, basketball. Look at this, folks. Spooky abandoned farm buildings there. They look awful eerie. So I think this on the right hand side is an old rail bridge which has been blocked off now. Is it? Oh, there is a bridge on the right hand side. Look at all these old sheds which have fallen down. Probably buildings like that were probably around during the war. See, these are maybe old railway siding buildings. Would they be, or is it just a farm?
I think it's just a farm.
Just an old farm. Look at that, even this one's is all, the roofs is all off. Here's an old bridge though, folks, another railway item. Yeah. Yeah, so this has maybe been somebody's farm midden here. Look at that though. Oh, there's an old trailer and everything underneath there. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to walk right through there nowadays. Obviously the farmer's using it as a midden. It's actually a wash machine. But it's got that cool old style with the big blocks. And they even put details with the two pointy blocks above the pillars. Look at this, folks. I'm guessing this tree here is probably damaging the wall. Yeah, there's like old stuff down there that's been dumped. What a location, folks. Yeah, look at this. This whole farm pretty much it looks abandoned here. It's got a lot of character, a building like that. This must be the newer farm down here. Look at that old vintage mower there, folks. The blade on that is similar to a modern combine blade, but that's actually driven from the wheels on the ground. Look at the levers. That's a cool bit of history, folks. Must be somebody's mower. Somebody that likes vintage stuff. Here we are, folks. We're back as far as this little railman's shed here. We can just imagine the boy sitting in here, probably with a kettle on top of the stove. Or actually it was an open fire, eh? Look at the little hearth and stuff. Proper little hearth there. Anyway, this is the same shed we looked at when we were on the way there. There's a lot of railway debris lying here. So cool though. I love the little stone chimney. The history of a wee building like that's cool. Somebody I think's put a felt roof on it at a later date. So there we go, folks. We're heading back along the old line now, and I can see a big rail bridge up ahead in the distance. So here we are back at Bridge 190, folks. The icicles look like they're thawing in the sunshine there. The sun's pretty much just about setting again. That's the thing at this time of year. You probably get like 4 hours of sunshine during the day in the winter. Look at this bridge. It looks majestic with the sun shining through it.
Majestic.
Look at the stonework, the way the sun is lighting it up. It really shows you the definition of the stone. It's incredible. Look at the detail here. It's cool, folks. Walking through history.
It's majestic.
This gate didn't used to be here when the trains used to come. Oh look, that gate's wide open. We can walk through this way. Look at this, folks. I'll do everyone a favour. Lift the gate, AKR.
Okay.
See that? We've done a favour to all involved. We've stopped any cows running away. Look at this, eh? We're blessed to have such interesting history around here to go and explore and share with the world. Look at this plane. I don't know if we can see it on the video here. Let me see. There's a plane kicking about. Honestly, the boy's been fleeing about the whole time we've been on this walk. He must just about be out of petrol by now. It's so cold and frosty, folks. Because the sun's getting lower, the wind's gotten really cold. And the wind's actually gotten a bit stronger. See, there's a house up here. That'd be cool to live there. I would always be exploring history along this rail line. There'll be a lot of little hidden nuggets places. We'll have to come back here and have a more in-depth explore. Or we'll have a proper look at the rail history exclusively next time, instead of combining the Pictish stone and the rail history. But it's been a fun explore. I didn't bother with the cinematics and so much music at the start of these videos, but straight into action, exploring. this ice is just pure, like glass. It's pretty crazy recording while on ice. That's like dancing on ice. This is YouTube on ice, folks. Here we go, folks. Here's some friends of the channel. Look at them. Oh, come on now, Betty. Hello. Were you feared? They're scared of the camera because they don't want their faces on the internet. Look at them. They're healthy looking beasts. There you go, folks. Railway cows. They're very inquisitive cows because now I've come away from the fence, they're all coming over here. Look, here they are. I love that. Like, see how curly its hair is. Anyway, folks, we can see the next rail bridge up ahead. It's incredible to think the distance that they cut out here. Look at the light coming under this bridge, folks. That's been a cool explore today. I'll end the video here, underneath this icicle drenched bridge. Bridge 189. If that means any rail buffs, people that care about the rails. What a cool place to end the video. That's been cool to see that St Orlands stone, and also the rail history has made this a fun episode. So, like I say, I'll end it here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon in the next video. Here, this must be the actual bridge number. KS189 it says. It's a massive bridge. It must have originally been built for a big road, whereas the other bridges were originally built for a small road.
Yeah, well, this will